Okay, hello everyone. That was a little bit of a um, challenge there getting connected, but we are here. Hi, I'm Victoria Baylor from DressinTen.com, the place for every woman on the go who likes great style and image information, but doesn't have a lot of time to acquire and even put it into action. If you go to DressinTen.com, lots of helpful information, resources, all of the sorts for that type of woman on the go. Well, we are here for another Motivational Monday post. I love these posts. Mondays are actually becoming my favorite days only because I have them set up in my schedule to be that way. It's the day that I use to jumpstart my week. But I understand there's so many people that don't have control over their Mondays in the way in which they'd like. I mean, most of us would prefer to be in Turks and Caicos on a Monday, but oftentimes our work responsibilities, of course, we have to be responsible for those. But nonetheless, it's Motivational Monday. There's no reason why you can't be motivated this Monday. This Monday is the start of your week. Technically, Sunday is, but this is the start of your work week for most of y'all. Some of you have different schedules. But with that being said, definitely want to offer a word of encouragement and wisdom to help propel you through this week. So today's topic is pretty much the necessity of breaks. Now, it was funny when I initially wanted to entitle this segment, I first thought, oh, we can call it the benefit of breaks. But then that denotes, kind of almost like this can be a voluntary thing, oh, well, let's talk about breaks. And of course, any break is defined as any time in which you halt from working or any other type of activity to just relax and not do that activity for a set period of time. So by saying benefits of breaks, it kind of implies, oh, it's probably not a mandatory thing. If you decide to do it, this is what you can get from it. It's just like if you eat apples. Well, if you decide to eat apples, there are benefits associated with it. You get high fiber, you get all that great stuff. You get that whole old saying, the adage, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, I don't want to give any kind of watered down implications with what I'm about to talk about, because breaks do come with benefits, but breaks actually are a necessity. So with that being said, oftentimes, we think that it's kind of a voluntary thing, or, if I have extra time, then I'll just slide in a break. But what most people don't know is that you rob yourself of very critical growth, development, mental stimulation, all these great things by not taking a break and by not resting. And your body is meant to rest. So if you're too busy in your day to take a break, then you're just way, way too busy, because breaks actually should be a priority. The body's mind and is pretty much designed to continue. Well, it isn't designed to continuously run at any kind of warp speed. I mean, think about the last time you did that. I know for sure the last time I tried to just keep pushing myself, I mean, what happened? Pretty much we can sum it up in 2 words: crash and burn. That's pretty much it. Am I not correct? So just think back to the time when you really tried to push yourself, went without sleep, and adequately just kind of gave yourself some downtime. Maybe it was a deadline you had approaching. Maybe it was some huge responsibility. Maybe it was some event you were kind of connected to. You might have been helping with a wedding or helping a friend that was having a baby or something like that. And you were just kind of going full throttle, no breaks. What happens? Of course, crash and burn. So we're not meant to be focused doing something for very extended periods of time without taking some time to relax. And I've had to learn that throughout the years, because I've always tried to push myself, but oftentimes I push myself to detriment. And one thing to be said, which is interesting, I think I've heard years ago that Cher, who had a crazy work ethic, worked continuously for several years straight and actually ended up being chronically fatigued. And she ended up being down for quite a bit of time. I think it might have been a couple years or something like that, where she just had to recover. And I think what we fail to realize is by not taking time to break, in the long run, we'll actually end up hurting ourselves more, and by failing to do so. So it's really important to do that. Again, you can't have unlimited focus on anything. And I think maybe sometimes there's guilt associated with taking a break. A lot of that's psychological. So for that being said, I always encourage people, do your own research, think about it. And the way I like to think about it kind of playfully is like, well, God created the earth in 6 days and he took a break on the 7th. Well, he can take a break. Good God Almighty, I'm sure I can fit a break into my schedule, which is why I do try to observe a day a week, and that for me is Sunday, Sabbath day, to just kind of relax. But I read an interesting article in Fast Company that states that there's actually two modes that our brain actually works on. It works in a focus mode and it works in a diffuse mode. Now, focus mode is what you pretty much are accustomed to. That's when you're learning new things, you're writing, you're working, your brain is really heavily engaged. And then there's the diffuse mode, and that's the mode where you're actually relaxed, oftentimes in a daydreaming state, things of that nature. That's a time that often people will characterize as being frivolous, but actually it's your diffuse mode that's just as important as your focus mode. Within the diffuse mode, they found that you oftentimes find answer to problems, issues. You can easily solve them because your brain has had time to relax. And it's the focus mode that actually prevents solving problems and solutions that come to mind and all that, because your brain is just geared toward focusing. So I found that to be so interesting. And I actually experienced that recently. I had a road trip. Now, it wasn't like a short day, thing. So it's like a 3 day away. I was tending to a family member. And I noticed that for the 5 hour drive there, oh my goodness, it was like the only time I had to really, really relax. I hadn't been really implementing my breaks like I should have. I had a lunch break, but I didn't implement as many breaks as I should have throughout my day. So the 5 hours it took to get there, I had the iPod playing and I just had it set to play songs from A to Z all the way through, which was awesome because it's my iPod and every song on there I like. And if I didn't like it, I could just fast forward. But it was so cool and I got so relaxed. And I noticed that by the time I made it to my destination, I stopped to do a little bit of work. I stopped at a coffee shop. And at that point, my mind became bombarded with business ideas. It was ridiculous. And it was just kind of like one idea after the other, after another idea after another. And it was just the solutions I needed to the problems I were having. Had I not taken that trip, I think I still would have been stopped up and frustrated. So that was just for me, and I know that resting is very important. And the funniest thing is that's the thing. We know what we need to do, but I mean, think about it. The follow through is where we oftentimes fall short. And it's really technically where we suck. So we have to make this a part of life, and it has to be a regimen, and it has to be enforced in order for us to get full benefit. So when you have without downtime, of course, what we don't realize is you become less efficient with time. You tend to make more mistakes, and you tend to lose more focus. So the best way to actually manage your time is and I'm going to implement this all week long myself. And I usually do have blocks of time, but I'm going to hone my blocks of time for even shorter periods of time. So there's lots of ways to manage your time in which you can have focus work and diffused brain time. There's several suggestions. One suggestion I think I read was you can do like 2 15-minute intervals of relaxation spread throughout your day, excluding your lunch. Some people would like to do little short breaks. So they might work for an hour and then take a 5-minute break and then go back to working. One I saw was you can work 90 days, or excuse me, not 90 days, 90 minutes straight, which I think that's what I'm going to try, and then take like a 15-minute break. So I'm going to start doing that. And lots of other different methods. So you can always try, it's like Goldilocks. You try what works best for you, test it out, and then put it into action. But what I do know psychologically, what a break does, which I know it definitely works for me, is because I know I'm going to have one. It's just like when I'm going on vacation, I will work like a dog, like prior to, and I do it with such elation and excitement because I know that there is a break in sight. That's what makes me excited. And that's kind of like how my week goes too. From Monday through Saturday, I'm working. I know Sunday I get to watch that movie. I get to pig out. I get to do all these things I didn't get to do before, for the first 6 days. So if you can implement that same elation within your daily undertakings, imagine how much more productive you'll be knowing that, okay, if I really bite the bullet here and I just dig down deep for 90 minutes, I have my list, I'm going to get bam, 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 bam accomplished. I get a cool 15-minute break. I'm going to have ice cream sandwich. That is, if that doesn't impair your thinking like it does for me. Too much sugar is not good, but we'll say that for another Motivational Monday post on healthy eating and brain workings. But anyway, when you know that you're going to have that break, it just works best for you. So that is my pretty much pitch for you today. please, 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 please understand that breaks are a necessity. Don't overwork yourself. You definitely want to incorporate them to actually better help you be productive and be focused and find solutions to problems. You need daydream time, you need relaxed time just as much as you need focus time. And again, adjust your master schedule. So if you don't have one of those, we'll have to talk about that pretty soon too. Everyone should have a master schedule on how your day runs from Monday through Sunday. So that's something to keep in mind, but adjust your master schedule where you implement breaks. And I promise you, you will see such a change in not only your productivity, but also in your health, your well-being, your sanity, and you'll be stress less for sure. A lot less stress than what we were running around with, trying to be superheroes that we are not. So with that being said, I want to motivate you this Monday. Go ahead and implement those breaks. Take some time for yourself. Relax. You'll be better for it. All right, this is Victoria Baylor signing out. Wonderful talking to you. Come on to DressinTen.com. We'll have a lot of new great information popping up. If you're interested in anything in particular, leave it in the comment section below. And I will talk to you later. Have a phenomenally blessed week. Bye.